What's the most important thing you can do in your home to protect yourself from the virus? In this video, I'm going to answer that question. Hi, I'm David Lo-Cicero. I'm a San Francisco Bay Area architect, and I've been thinking a lot about how to design homes in response to the pandemic. I think the pandemic is going to last a long time, and so I think that our homes will have to respond in some way in order to keep us healthy and safe. So today I'm going to talk about the single most important thing that I think you can do to protect yourself through the design of your home, and it's something that you can actually do in your existing home with a little bit of thought. The single most important thing that you need to protect yourself from the virus that your house can provide is an airlock entry. Imagine those science fiction films that we've all seen where they're in outer space in the spaceship and they need to go out into the void. There's always a little room in between the spaceship and the void where they can step in with all of their gear on, and then the air is expelled and they walk out into space safe, prepared. And then when they come back into that little room, the air is blown back in and they are able to take off their gear and then enter the spaceship safe. So what you need is a space or a place like that in your home. And this is kind of the idea. This is your house. And this is the outside, full of virus and nasty people who don't wear masks. And when you come home, you need a space where you can take off your shoes, take off your mask, get rid of the disposable one, get rid of the disposable gloves, be prepared to enter into your house. Maybe have some hand sanitizer there so that you can also clean your hands before you move any further into the house. And similarly, when you're leaving the house, it's a place to put on the gloves, get a fresh mask, and put on your shoes and be prepared to go back outside. It's a place of transition where you can take care of all of the rituals of coming and going. If you're not a wealthy person, or if you live in the city, or if you live in houses built during a certain period, you don't actually have an entry hall. The door just opens into the living room. You can still do an airlock entry, like I'm describing, in that situation. And here's a diagram. So here's the outside. This could be a lawn or the sidewalk or the hallway of your condo or your apartment building, but it's outside your house. And then this is the door, swings open, and inside, in order to create an airlock, in essence, is you need a place to hang your coats, a place to sit down, take off your shoes, and a place to keep the hand sanitizer, the clean masks, and the clean gloves. And you also need a place to get rid of, maybe in a trash can here in the corner, the used gloves and the used masks. A really important thing to do, though, is to have this green square. So you've got a little fringe on it. It represents an area rug, preferably one that could be cleaned, because what happens is the virus is expelled from their body in little droplets, and the heavy droplets fall to the ground. You can walk through those heavy droplets without even knowing it, and the virus will live for several hours. So when you get home, it's really important to take off your shoes, particularly if you have small children who spend a lot of time on the ground. Having an area rug that you can roll up once or twice a week and toss into the dryer or into the washing machine in order to clean it, and the heat from the dryer can kill the virus, or you can really suds it up and put it in the washing machine. That can really go a long way toward helping reduce the chances of virus coming further into your home. And what you have done, in essence, is you've created a little airlock between the outside, and the inside. This is, at the most basic, a way to have an airlock entry in a home that doesn't have a dedicated room. For other people who live in single-family houses or duplexes where the garage is attached to the house, so you can pass, there's a door between the house and the garage. Another way to get an airlock entry in that's more effective than the first option is to use the garage as the airlock. You're going to drive into that anyway, open the door, get out in the garage. And if you're coming and going by bicycle or on foot, there's usually a door from the garage to the outside. So what you can do is use the garage as the airlock. And this is an illustration of that. The garage is here, the house is here, there's a door between the house and the garage, there's a door between the garage and the outside. So if you're on foot, you come up the side yard, come in this door. You still want to have that area rug right there to catch the virus before it gets any further. You can just put in a chair or a bench or something so you can sit down and take off your shoes, leave your shoes in the garage. Sanitize your hands, get rid of the used masks and the gloves. You can even put stuff directly into the washer and dryer because very often the garage doubles as a laundry room. There might even be a sink in your garage. A lot of garages have them where you can wash your hands before you even get into the house. And then you can come into the house and greet your happy family. So and you would repeat the process if you're going out. Come out here, and that way the garage is doubling as the airlock entry. Another option is that in some parts of the country, it's really common to have a mudroom, especially in places where it rains a lot or where there's snow and ice in the winter. You often need a room where you can take off your boots and take off your wet stuff, and houses have mudrooms. And if whether or not you have a garage attached to the mudroom can act in much the same way. And this is kind of a diagram of my grandmother's house. They had a garage here, then the house was over here, the front door actually faced over here, the garage was around here, and there was a room between the house and the garage, which was a mudroom. And it also doubled as a laundry, the washer and dryer, and there was a sink in there. She had a bench where you could stop, you could take off your boots and all that stuff. Well, it's the same thing, only with the virus kind of out here. You can come in, take off your shoes, get rid of your gloves, get rid of your mask, put stuff directly into the washer and dryer before you enter the house. And it's the same way when you're leaving. And having a mudroom can double very much as an airlock entry. These are 3 ways that you can create an airlock entry in your own home right now without tearing down walls, without putting in plumbing, without buying HEPA filters or anything like that. You can just set up a little station and use it. But it's important. Everyone in the house has to use it. You do, your spouse does, your partner does, your kids do, your visitors do. You have to enforce it or it doesn't work. If you don't use it, and if everybody doesn't use it, it's just the same problem as if you go out and not everybody's wearing a mask. Stuff is going to happen. So if you do set up an airlock entry, make sure that you enforce it and that everybody in the house buys in. So an airlock entry. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. It's just a space where you can take off your shoes before you come in the house. You can take off your mask. You can take off the gloves. It just makes things safer. If you've found this video useful or helpful, feel free to subscribe or watch more videos. There will be another video coming up about the importance of the front porch.